I'd like for everybody to be sure that they're going at a pace that they're comfortable with, so that you're not going beyond what your ability to do it correctly is, right? So don't make it fast and sloppy, make it slow and smooth. So most of you in martial arts have heard slow is smooth and smooth is fast, right? Just like playing a piano or anything else. You don't want to be moving as fast as possible when you're on the piano. You want to be very efficient with your motion, right? And that efficiency is what's going to develop your speed, okay? So, next. So I pass this, I turn, I cut, and I go to make this stab. You just want to stab me right here in the throat. Just like that, right? It doesn't even have to go anywhere. So let's switch roles here. Here. Right there. Straight across. Okay? Again. Right there. You can go into the throat. One thing, when we're going to be doing a lot of vital cuts today, and one thing to keep in mind when someone receives a vital cut is that they don't, burst into flames or disappear in a puff of smoke, right? You can go look up some really cool emergency room statistics and stuff, and people live with carotid cuts for 20 minutes. 20 minutes in a knife fight is an eternity, right? What you would really need to do is to incapacitate this person is for them to lose 40% of their blood volume before they're lethargic or unconscious, right? That's a lot of blood. That's not going to happen from one quick little cut. And I've worked with some special ops guys, and they tell you some horror stories about people who are on all kinds of crazy drugs and adrenaline and all kinds of stuff that just makes them ungodly. I mean, like, seriously, it sounds like they're talking about zombies, like legitimately, where they've got a leg half blown off and an arm missing, and all those, they're still coming at them, crawling across the floor practically. Some people are, psycho or committed to ending it today. So anyway, I throw this, he cuts, pass, I check offline, and I'm going here for the throat. Now I'm going to give you another little tip right here. When you go for the throat, that's great. You can also go subclavian, right? And something that's very interesting about the subclavian artery is when you cut that, you're almost surely going to wind up killing the person, because there's no way for them to compress that, right? You can get cut in an artery, and with pressure, you can slow the bleeding, right? But there's no way to stop that in here, right? And even people who, you could be at the emergency room pretty much, and if you got that subclavian artery cut, severed completely in two, they're probably still not going to save you, right? So on the brighter side, you can turn that around and go right in here, subclavian artery right there. So you're going right in behind the clavicle, straight down in like that. Once you've done that, of course, you can come back out and pick another target, because the more arteries that you cut that aren't on the same line, like for instance, if you cut the brachial artery and then you cut the radial artery, well, this cut is not doing you any good in terms of blood loss, because you've already cut the line, right? But this and this are coming from two separate places, right? So when you go to the subclavian artery, that comes down to the arm. Obviously, the carotid goes up to the throat. So you've got two separate targets that you can hit, back to back quickly if that's what you're looking for. Nice fun, right? So here, right there, I'm checking that up, and I'm coming right in here to the throat this way, or right in the subclavian artery, just like that. Okay? All right, add that little piece. Oh, before we add that piece, we can switch roles here. Not roles, but switch orientation, right? So he can still do the same thing here, and I can still go to the same two targets here on this other side. So don't always have your hammer grip person being the person that's leading the role here. The one person, you can go ice pick, back and forth, and then switch orientation of your knife and do the exact same rolls, just with the different grip, okay? Sure. So we're adding throat and or subclavian, okay? All right, give it a shot.